Hola muchachos, Lifeaholic Mom here, and today we are with our lovely and dear friend Colin. He is the owner of this beautiful hotel here in Playa Negra, Puerto Viejo. This is where, if you guys notice, this is kind of the backdrop for a lot of the other videos that we do, because it's such, to me, it's one of the most beautiful gardens here in Puerto Viejo / Playa Negra. So say hello, Colin.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And the reason why we're having this conversation today with Colin is because I just want you guys to hear his story from a different perspective than our typical interview with an expat series. So we're going to ask him, of course, the same 5 questions that we typically ask during our interview with an expat series. However, he has a very, very top of the line successful hotel and business here in Puerto Viejo. So I want you guys to hear his story from an expat perspective, as well as a perspective of a thriving business here in Puerto Viejo. So,
Great.
Thank you, Colin.
Okay.
Thank you for joining
I hope
us today.
It's an interesting story for people.
It will be. Okay, so Colin, the first question that we asked during this series is, so why did you pack up and leave Canada?
You know, that's a great question because, you know, as far as cities and countries go, I felt like I came from a fantastic place of Vancouver in Canada, and I lived a very successful life and happy life with lots of friends and family. But to try and not make a long story out of this, when I was about, my background is marketing and advertising, and when I was kind of about starting the peak of my career, I went on a vacation in Hawaii to a workshop, all men's workshop. It was a gay men's workshop, and a gay men's adventure tour in Hawaii on the Big Island, and it was at a place called Kalani. It's a big challenge for me at that time. So anyway, I attended, and not only did I like it, you know, I liked it so much that I left there saying, that is what I want to do with my life.
So you're saying that the adventure, so when you left, you had some personal growth, obviously.
Yes, big time.
But when you said that's what I want to do, what do you mean that? The adventure tour, or
Right.
help people come out of their shell?
Yeah, well, kind of both.
Okay.
So what really appealed to me was I found out that not only did I find out I liked groups, I also found out that I thrive in them. Mm-hmm. So I decided I wanted to do the same thing, and I chose Costa Rica. And before
that was his launch point.
Yes, before I even been here, I also did some research and found on the internet this quirky little place called Puerto Viejo, down in the corner on the Caribbean, and read all up about it, and it was kind of like, you know, the hippie bohemian place. So when I came finally to Puerto Viejo, it actually exceeded my expectations. I was also looking at Bocas del Toro, and I am so happy I chose Costa Rica and Puerto Viejo. So here I am 15 years later, and
15 years, folks.
Yes, 15 years, yes. Yeah, I have to sometimes pinch myself. Was sitting on the beach, having a cup of coffee in the morning and sit there and how the
It's like
fuck
the dream
did you get
realized.
here?
The dream realized.
It's like, what the fuck happened?
Right.
How did this happen?
How did this happen? Well, I had a question for you. So
So-
that is a beautiful story, and thank you for sharing with
Okay.
us. But I have a question, which most people ask me. You live in paradise. What is one con to living here? What is your least favorite thing about living here in Puerto Viejo?
Well, we're keeping it real here. And
Keeping it 100, y'all.
yes, and I had to wake up to a few things. And first of all, despite what you see around here, and they say paradise is a state of mind. Okay, and so yes, it's got wonderful weather and wonderful greenery and much.
And very loud cicadas, which you guys are about to hear on the microphone,
Yes,
by the way.
and but what I found out was a lot of people, especially expats, that leave their place. They're leaving because they're not happy with something, and so anybody that knows anything about personal growth and that wherever you go, your suitcases of emotional baggage come with you.
Yeah.
And they will, if you don't unpack them, they will unpack themselves.
So if you are not the most organized, or you had some kind of personal development issues in the States or Canada or wherever you're from, that's coming along with you, so that you have to deal with those things before you come to paradise, because then it won't be paradise for you. You'll be in the exact same situation, just at a different place on the globe.
It actually makes it worse because you don't have your support
But then
system.
you don't have your family and friends to support you through your shit, right?
And you might even be broke by that time too.
Right. So okay, well, thank you very much. So
Want to work. They don't.
that's actually me too. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's some other good stuff.
Yeah,
but,
no, there's
I'm one of
okay.
those
There's
people.
no okay with not working, and I don't consider this working. And I've got 50 plus employees. Anyway, it was a real sort of epiphany for me, and I had to take stock and kind of find my own tribe. And over the years,
So that was a pro or the con?
that was a
the
con.
con.
Yeah,
The
because
con is that you came here with a certain mindset, but then
Exactly.
when you got here, all of those myths were dispelled, and you
Not-
were just like, wait, whoa.
Yeah, I thought
You
I
had to
was
relearn.
exactly. I thought I was coming to kind of integrate with much more sort of progressive, free-thinking people. So it was a bit of a disappointment.
Right. Well, you seem to rally.
Hey,
You seem to have rallied quite well.
I'm a
Colin.
survivor. I am a survivor.
Hey, so I have another question for you. What is your favorite thing about living here in Costa Rica?
Do you know? That's a good question, and believe
But
me,
we have his con.
that-
Let's see.
I'm gonna reframe
what
it.
makes Colin
I'm gonna
wake up in the morning and make a
reframe the question a little bit.
Okay.
I was being interviewed by this guy from the Huffington Post, who also wrote.
HuffPost?
Yeah, who
Big
also
time.
wrote for that Living Abroad magazine organization, whatever it is. It's one of those little. And he turned to me and he says, why do you live here anyway? And I sat there and I thought, that's a really
A
good
good
question. Because even though I'm from Canada and it's not quite as intensive as the United States, is, in the United States and Canada, it's never enough. Okay, no matter what we have, where we live, what we
Never
drive, our kids, whatever.
have more.
Nothing is
Gotta have
enough.
more.
And
No one's
because
ever happy with the quality of their life,
Yeah.
because they're always looking at their neighbors or friends, and they're
Exactly.
like, well, they just got a new Benz,
Yeah.
so even though I don't want a Benz, I got to get a new Benz because it's like, I don't
Exactly.
even want that for my life.
Exactly.
But I
And-
got to do it
Exactly.
to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not their fault. They're surrounded by media at every point that tells them that you're a failure, you're not good enough, you're fat, you're ugly, you're gonna fail at life, you're gonna have no pension, it's no one just says, oh, you're great. And so back to this question, to answer it in a very sort of compact way. When I live in North America, the glass is half empty, and when I live here, the glass is half full.
What
I am really grateful because down here, you know, I and probably you are one of the halves, and it's really clear.
Can I just jump in
Absolutely.
to what he just said? I just kind of want to piggyback on that statement because the last part of what he said resonates with so many of us expats. When we come here, we are conscious and grateful beings. Well, most of us.
Most of
I
us,
am.
yeah.
And when I wake up every day, I realize, like he said, I'm one of the haves. And so with that, I treat everybody the same. Everybody. If you work, if you're a worker, if you're building construction, you are equal to me because I'm so grateful to be in a place where I'm one of the haves. And that's never been that for me, where I'm accepted. No one's judging me because of the color of my skin. The color of my skin is actually a benefit for me living here. But if I'm in the US, it's actually a negative. So just to kind of go on what he said, like if you wake up in a state of gratitude every day and appreciation for nature and for love, you learn to appreciate things you never. When I hear birds sing in the morning, I'm like, oh my God, this is so awesome. There's a bird singing. Like, who cares? When I was in LA, I couldn't even hear the birds singing because I was so busy getting ready for work so that I could go jump into traffic and be miserable for the rest of the day, that even if there was a bird singing, I wouldn't even be able to hear it. And we were just talking before this interview, we were like, we don't even have clothes for this interview. Like, I literally didn't know what to wear for this interview.
This is one of my
This is
dress-up
Colin's-
shirts.
Colin's
It's not
dressed up,
ironed.
guys. He's dressed up, his hair is fancy. This is fancy for us.
For, you know, going gringo, which tends to be a shirt, a
Flip-flops
t-shirt,
and some cargo
shorts,
shorts.
and cargo shorts and flip-flops.
And maybe brush your hair that
Yeah,
day.
exactly. So to take that further, I'm not sure, how long have you been here for?
4 years.
Okay, so she's still new.
I'm a newbie.
You know, I hate, we don't even know just what we look like in the morning until I come in to greet my staff, and some of them say that, you know what, your t-shirt's on inside out, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know, it's a dissension, not always for the
But
best.
that's not a negative. It
No,
depends on how you look at
I
it.
just
That's
laugh. I just
awesome to be a
laugh
boss,
at myself, and I just
to come
don't
and do
care.
a staff
Yeah,
meeting
yeah.
with your T-shirt on inside out, Colin. That's awesome. In there for potential business owners who want to relocate. What is one really good piece of advice that you would give someone who wants to come here to Puerto Viejo or wants to come to the South Caribbean and start a business?
Good question. You know, yeah. You know, I think my biggest asset is, you know, not having a clue what I'm doing. Even though I have been an entrepreneur all my life, I never finished high school. But I never saw that as a handicap because you just have to look around. There's lots of people that know what they're doing, okay? You just have to ask them, okay? And most people who are doing something successfully love to give you advice.
Their LGBT community is fully accepted here. Colin is part of that group, but it's also no kids.
Yeah.
So that is very difficult to do in an environment in the South Caribbean. So can I just ask you, how were you able to, one, get the confidence to do that,
Yeah.
but number two, make it work?
Well, the truth be known is I was going to open this place strictly for a LGBT audience.
And how did you get the inspiration, the courage to start a hotel that was a double niche? One, no children. Number two, LGBT community friendly.
Okay. The real story behind I took all my life savings and everything and quit everything I had in Canada to do this project. And I woke up about 3/4 of the way through the build and realized that this is not going to work. Because here is my dream has basically collapsed. And also I was way too far into it to pull out. And then I thought, the hell with it. I am just going to build it, open it, be out and open about who I am, And
If you build it, they will come.
and you know what? That's exactly what happened and now I wouldn't have it any other way. A clientele is about 20% LGBT. The no kids thing, it's funny because a lot of people think because I'm gay that I don't like children.
It's
No,
just
but
people
some
don't
people
want to hear kids when they're on
Yeah,
vacation.
exactly. Who's our best customer? And it was really clear it was couples. Couples just really resonated with the
away.
place.
They don't
Exactly.
wanna
We just designed our whole marketing and our property and everything to a couples.
Well, very cool.
Yeah. So
Very nice. So let's just recap. So that one piece of advice that you would tell people if they're thinking about taking the leap and making the change and they feel like maybe they don't have the courage, they don't have the resources, they don't look the part, they don't feel the part, they have all these naysayers, what is one solid piece of advice that you would give them to take the leap or not?
I want to say, cautiously, follow your dreams. What are you really good at? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can I just jump in really fast? I just really want you guys to listen to that last sentence. What are you good at? Because whatever that is will sustain you. Trust me. I wake up happy, I go to bed happy. And all through the day, I'm doing exactly what I want to do because I manifested my own dreams, I wrote my own goals down, and I'm living it. But there are things that I want to do, not what I've done for 20 years in the States. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Colin.
Welcome.
I do appreciate your time and having a place where you guys can see our background. It's beautiful.
If you're down in the Playa Negra, Puerto Viejo, please come by and say hi. Just ask for me personally.
Ooh, you hear that, you guys? Ask for Colin personally. All of the contact information about this hotel, Banana Azul, will be down in the description, website, all the information that you need to know. And Colin just said, if you're ever in Costa Rica, make sure you come and ask for him directly. So, thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
Lifeaholic Mama out.
Okay.
Ciao.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share.